Call the El Reno Airport regular meeting to order on February 12th, 2019 at 5:30. Roll call starting with Councilwoman Ryder.
Here.
Trustee White.
Here.
Vice Chairman Ballhorn.
Here.
Trustee Cronister. Chairman Robinson.
Here. We'll move on to consent agenda. The following items are considered to be routine by the El Reno Airport Authority and will be enacted with one motion. Should discussion desire be of any item that will be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately. Number one is approval of the minutes of the January 8, 2019 regular meeting of the El Reno Airport Authority. And number two is approval of resolution number 19-024, a resolution authorizing persons to transact financial business signatures for the City of El Reno Airport Authority.
Make a motion we approve.
Second.
Got a motion by the mayor, second by Councilwoman Ryder. Start with Councilwoman Ryder.
Yes. Trustee White.
Yes.
Vice Chairman Ballhorn.
Yes.
Trustee Cronister. Chairman Robinson.
Yes. We'll move on to item D, which is adjournment.
So moved.
Got a motion, a second, all in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned. Bob?
Call the El Reno Recreational Authority regular meeting to order. Roll call start with Ms. Ryder.
Here. Trustee Robinson.
Here.
Trustee White.
Yep.
Trustee Cronister. Chairman Ballhorn.
Yep. Consent agenda. Following items are considered to be routine by the El Reno Recreational Authority and will be enacted in one motion. Should discussion be desired on any item, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately. Number one, approval of minutes of January 8, 2019 regular meeting of the El Reno Authority, Recreational Authority. Number two, approval of resolution number 19-025, a resolution authorizing persons to transact financial business signatures of the City of El Reno. And number three, approval of claims requiring trustee authorization for the period beginning January 1st, 2019 and ending January 31st, 2019.
Motion approved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Vote will start with Ryder.
Yes.
Trustee Robinson.
Yes.
Trustee White.
Yes.
Trustee Cronister. Chairman Ballhorn.
Yes. Item D, discussion items. Discussion, consideration of possible action to approve purchase of a new rough mower for the Crimson Creek Country Club.
I make a motion we approve the new rough mower that we had discussed that we were gonna buy, based on the Bob, the golf carts coming in with a cheaper price. I make a motion we approve to P&K John Deere for $47,880.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Vote will start with Ms. Ryder.
Trustee Robinson.
Yes.
Trustee White.
Yes.
Trustee Cronister. Chairman Ballhorn.
Yes. Item E, adjournment.
Make a motion.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Roll call, vote will, all in favor say aye.
Aye. We had a hammer back, by the way. It's now 5:34. I now call the El Reno City Hospital Authority regular meeting of Tuesday, February the 12th to order. Roll call vote start with Trustee Ryder.
Here. Trustee Robinson.
Yes.
Trustee Ballhorn.
Yes.
Vice Chairman Cronister. Chairman White.
Here. We're going to consider agenda the following items we consider routine by the City of El Reno Hospital Authority being enacted in one motion. Excuse me, should discussion be desired on that item, that I'll be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately. Number one, approval of minutes of the January 8, 2019 regular meeting of the El Reno Hospital Authority. Number two, approval of minutes of January 17, 2019 special meeting of the El Reno Hospital Authority. Number three, approval resolution number 19-026, a resolution authorizing persons to transact financial business signatures for the City of El Reno.
Make a motion to approve.
I have a motion approval by Ballhorn, second by Trustee Ryder. Roll call start with Ballhorn.
Yes.
Trustee Robinson.
Yes.
Trustee Ryder? Yes. Vice Chairman Cronster? Chairman White?
Yes. Motion for adjournment?
So moved.
So moved by Robinson, second by Ballhorn. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned. Move on to El Reno Municipal Authority. It's now 5:35. I now call the El Reno Municipal Authority regular meeting of Tuesday, February the 12th, 2019. City of El Reno to order. Roll call start with Trustee Ryder.
Trustee Robinson?
Yes.
Trustee Ballhorn?
Yes.
Vice Chairman Cronster? Chairman White?
Yes. Move on to new business deletion, contingent set time agenda. Are there any? If not, move on to D, consent agenda. The following items be considered routine by the El Reno Municipal Authority and will be enacted in one motion. Should discussion be desired on that item will be removed to the consent agenda and considered separately. Number one, approval of minutes of the January 8, 2019 regular meeting of El Reno Municipal Authority. Number two, approval of resolution 19-027, a resolution authorizing persons to transact financial business, signatures for the city of El Reno. Number three, approval of budget amendments for the fiscal year 2018 to 2019, ending June 30th, 2019. And number four, approval of claims requiring trustee authorizations for the period beginning of January 1st, 2019 and ending January 31st, 2019.
Make a motion to approve.
I have a motion by trustee Ballhorn,
Second.
second by trustee Robinson. Roll call start with Ballhorn.
Yes.
Trustee Robinson?
Yes.
Trustee Ryder? Yes. Vice Chairman Cronster? Chairman White?
Yes. Move on to E, discussion items. Number five, discussion, consideration, possible action to approve payoff of the 2008 taxable series loan in the amount of $456,200, including interest and fees, not to exceed a complete total of $485,000, and authorize the chairman/mayor to sign a letter of payoff for approval. Basically, because of our financial situation, we're doing a pretty good deal. We want to go ahead and, as we go along this, and I've done this over the several years as far as the golf course, Timmy, I think, and some other entities, we wanted to go ahead and we're ahead of the game. We want to go ahead and pay the series notes off and save the taxpayers some money as long as we have cash. We've been real good about doing that in the past. We want to continue that. We've been looking at that for the last couple of months, and we wanted to make sure we saved that, Marcia and I, for Mr. Frazier to look at that, to make sure that's what he wanted to do and look at the financial deal and use his skills set to look at what we needed to do and what we wanted to do. He looked at that, he agreed with us, he thought it was a good idea. He has some other things we want to go over currently, so this would kind of go on that plan of getting forward to our current financial situation. So it's a good move by us, so I'm asking to go ahead and pay it off.
I'll make a motion to pay the $465,200 plus interest and not to exceed over $485,000.
Second.
I got a motion and a second. Roll call vote start with Ballhorn.
Yes.
Trustee Robinson?
Yes.
Trustee Ryder? Yes. Vice Chairman Cronster? Chairman White?
Yes. Move on to item number 6, discussion consideration possible action to award bid for project number J30, downtown tower, water line, approved mayor to sign all documents associated thereto. The low bid on this was Lone Hickory Cattle Company. Don't ask me why, but I guess they went out of the Hickory Cattle Company and went into the water line business. We're okay with that. They were low bid. They come highly recommended by our engineer, and I make a motion that we award that bid for $65,425. I made the motion. Do I have a second? Second by Robinson. Roll call start with Ryder.
Yes. Trustee Robinson?
Yes.
Trustee Ballhorn?
Yes.
Vice Chairman Cronster? Chairman White?
Yes, motion carries. Go to 7, discussion consideration possible action to award the project number J31, bridge mediation to South Country Club Road, and approve mayor to sign all documents associated therefore. This also is to Lone
Hickory Cattle.
Lone Hickory Cattle Company. I can't even say it wrong. Okay, Lone Hickory Cattle Company. This is the bridge out by Miss Johnson's, Betty Johnson, I call it where the curve is, where it goes in there. The bridge, because of an oil field deal, the bridge fell in, so we're replacing that, and we're trying to seek some damages, but we got a pretty good deal. It's been in bad shape.
It's been down for a while.
It's been down for a while, so it's not anything new.
Make a motion to pay the $39,750 to Hickory Cattle, Long Hickory Cattle.
Okay, got a motion by Robinson, second by Ryder. Roll call vote start with Ryder then.
Yes. Trustee Robinson?
Yes.
Trustee Ballhorn?
Yes.
Vice Chairman Cronster? Chairman White?
Yes. Number 8, discussion consideration possible action to accept project number 1, I-44. It's recorded in duplicate J10 for housekeeping, sanitary sewer force main to serve Crossroad Point Development, make final payment to Miller Inc., doing businesses J&C Construction, amount of $881.16, and activate maintenance bond. Miss Lindsay, this is basically to finish up that project and start the maintenance bond.
Make a motion to approve.
I got a motion by Ballhorn,
Second.
second by Robinson. Roll call vote start with Ballhorn.
Yeah.
Trustee Robinson.
Yes.
Trustee Ryder.
Yes.
Vice Chairman Cronster. Chairman White.
Yes. Number 9, discussion consideration possible action to approve plan for street resurfacing and reconstruction. Do you have the pictures? Nope. That's not it. Basically, you have right here in front of you, right here, this is the pictures of all the streets that we're going to do. You have a list of all the streets that we currently have. It's a big list. Did you find it, Dustin?
We're getting it.
Okay, take your time.
We'll have 4 different parts of town on 4 different slides here in just a second.
Okay, as you can see, and you can see better on your map you have here, Ms. Ryder, Bob, Timmy. And basically, what we come up with, Jeff, you might come up here just for a second, just kind of present this. We've been working on this for several months. Well, you guys have been tearing these roads up for several years, so we're trying to fix them. It's basically what it is, Jeff, is extension of the program we started last year as far as the chip and seal and some of the other ones. And he didn't need it. And then go to the extension of some of the continuances of the mile sections as far as like Britton Road and Foreman, do a mile at a time because they're so expensive. But we have budgeted here, this is a big project, to be over a $3 million project. Several roads that we're going to do here in town. We're going to try to get some of these country areas, like we got some like Bob and Brenda's house out there, we got in front of theirs, but we worked with the county and they couldn't get further up by the camp's house because they were taking trees out. That'll complete that. So it's just a list that we've been working on for the last 7 or 8 years. It includes 27th Street where the oil fields tore up that road. It includes Country Club, where it includes Choctaw Road. I mean, Greg, we got a whole list of them. But and what we're going to try to do, this is a working list. We have budgeted this amount. Mr. Fox come up with that. So hopefully we can complete all this list, but we have in our contract to see how the bids come in, where we can either plus or minus. And Jeremy was concerned with that to make sure we complete the project. And Jeff and I, we got this list pretty well together, so we have some add-ons like that one from Mark Vincent's house that we're going to look at. It's not on this list, but we think we have enough in there to do that. So we have enough. If the bids come in cheap, then we can go ahead and add some on. If they don't come in cheap enough, we can take some off. So. Striping's included in this. We have some that's going to be mill and overlay. We have the roads that we need to do the oil fields tore up. The worst one as far as heavy traffic that we're trying to maintain the big, what I call farm to market roads. We're going to do stabilization, fly ash on those and try to get those built up. So it's a big project, big program. We'll go out to bids here. We'll have these bids back hopefully by March. By the contracts come in, I know everybody wants these roads done now, but this isn't paving time. Your paving time starts right around March, April, May. So hopefully we think, Jeff, the total project will be about 4 month project to get everything complete on this list.
Everything finished by 4 months approximately.
The bids haven't came in yet.
Right.
We haven't had the pre-bid work, so we haven't had discussion with the contractors. But based on what the engineer's estimate is and what we're kind of requiring on days, we're going to try to get that within 4 months is what we're going to try to. Once again, we haven't had the mandatory pre-bid to discuss with the contractors how they want to mobilize or whatever else. It's a lot of projects, and so they might have to move in and move out at. We don't know. Jeff, that's sum it all up. We worked real hard on it. We brought Jeremy in. Jeremy knows it's important to get these roads up. We've had a lot of complaints on roads. We're fortunate to have saved back some money on this. We've had 2 big projects last year to complete, and we got some roads done last year, and some city parking lots, and then we also got some chip and seal stuff done last year, and then we got, started on Britton and Foreman, so we're moving that direction. The Shepherd's one of them, terrible right in front of the, right, the county road, so that'll tie on to Jones that we finished up 4 or 5 years ago.
Well, this is great, because I get calls all the time, and so now I can say, well, see, that's just on the list.
It's on the list.
So
And Tracy, I'll be honest with you, if it's not on that list, then it's on that list. They're on that list. If it's not on that list, it's something that's popped up. That's a list of all the worst roads that we came up with over every district and tried this. And the one thing that we're pretty hopeful with, Dave Anderson and Jack Stewart are kind of working with us, hopefully, as the chip and seals. Now, we're putting the chip and seal out to bid, but we hope the county, and if you remember correctly, we did the deal with them last year, but just couldn't meet the season because of the temperature.
So now let me clarify.
So they're gonna try to get it done this year. Yeah.
So when you say 4 months, it's for the process to begin?
No. It's gonna go out to bid. We hopefully will bring these, our goal is, and we talked to the engineer today, is to bring this back, the March meeting, for you to award the low bid on the contractor to do this project. And it could be 1 or 2 based on the chip and seal and based on the overlay. Does that make sense? At that point in time, they're gonna have to get the bonds together, and that'll take about 30 days to get the bonds and everything else together for them to go over everything and get this, what they call a work schedule in place for us to approve. And then at that point in time, it's basically weather related. When they can get to it, when they can schedule it. And we'll look at those, Tracy, to where we feel like we might pull some of these out and have the county do some of these if they're cheaper. So we're doing this deal pretty smart. Does that make sense? We got options. That make you happy?
It'll make all the people who call me happy.
Yep, we agree. So we're excited about it. The only one that we do not have in there, I'll be honest with you, is Jensen Road from 81 Highway to Radio. And it's in terrible shape. And the only reason why we don't have that in is that we're currently working on a project with the county of the new fairgrounds. In order to place that, there's no sense in using tax dollars, and we maybe could use some TIF dollars that we could utilize on that deal that we wouldn't have to utilize out of your pockets here, that we could utilize as a total project. Does that make sense? So that's the only one that if someone gripes about it, they're just gonna have to wait. You just tell them to use 66. All right, any other questions? Jeff, thank you. We're excited about it. I think all the public works is excited about it, Jeff.
Yes.
Because that'll take a lot of off our list. All right, so I have a motion to go out to bid.
Make a motion.
Approve the street plan.
Yep.
Okay. You got a motion, Bob, second by Robinson. Roll call vote, start with Ryder.
Yes.
Trustee Robinson.
Yes.
Trustee Ballhorn.
Yes.
Vice Chairman Cronister. Chairman White.
Yes. We'll move on to 10, discussion possible action regarding letter of intent between the City of El Reno and Municipal Authority, FlexChem. We're still working on some things. We got some letters back. We don't have any problem. We might have to have a special meeting on this and the next one. And we have some hospital stuff coming up too. So there's just some lawyer stuff that they're not getting done, and we'll talk about that later. So I'd like to table this. I have a motion table. Do I have a second? Second by Ballhorn.
Do you want to table it, or do you
Well,
want?
I'll tell you what, let's just don't take any action. Yeah, let's take no action. Then we'll do the same thing on 11. This is discussion, consideration, possible action in order to enter an agreement with Canadian County Rural Water District number 4. We don't expect there'll be any problems, some changes on some language that Mr. Reinhardt and Mr. Bass are working out, that they both feel that's important on both sides of us. So we need to get that to you guys to make sure that we're both all covered, so we're gonna just not take no action on that. Do I have a motion for adjournment? So moved. I have a motion by Robinson, second by Ballhorn. Roll call vote, start with Ballhorn.
Yes.
Oh, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
There we go, we don't have to do that. It's now 5:49, now I call the El Reno City Council regular meeting of Tuesday, February the 12th, 2019 to order. We'll start off with roll call with Councilwoman Ryder.
Here?
Councilman Robinson.
Yes.
Councilman Ballhorn.
Yep.
Vice Mayor Cronister. Mayor White.
Yes. All right, and do we have anybody from the Minister Alliance here today? Well, Doc, Roger, would you lead us in the word of the Lord?
Happy to. Please bow your heads. Dear Heavenly Father, we ask your blessing on this meeting as these good people are here to be about the business of this community. We pray for the future of our community, for our leaders, for our citizens, and for our elderly. We also pray for our country and our state. Ask your continued guidance as we make decisions that affect the future. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Join me in the flag salute, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Well, I don't know why I'm sitting down. Let me get back up here. Camera, come on up here. Ray, get your camera out. You say the people. How's that? Tamara, our resource person, her and Lindsay kind of put this out. We'd like to welcome Judge Lewis. Come on up here, Judge. Raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth? No. I always want to do that to you. Come on, Judge. Get right in the middle. Get right here. Tamara, get on that one side right there. We, when we conduct business here in city council, everything else, we'll just take a picture real quick, Judge. Okay. We conduct business up here. We do roads, and we buy fire trucks, and we buy police trucks or cars, and we do fix water lines and everything else. You know, we conduct business up here once a month, and then throughout the whole month and throughout the year. But the most important, I think, thing that we have more than the infrastructure we can ever replace is the people, and that's what's important to our. That's what makes us work, and it's what's so unique about city work is that you're here in the community, so you're fortunate to serve the citizens, but yet you're also part of the community. And what's so incredible is this is an award for 25 years of service, but I got to tell you, Judge Lewis has been here 45 and a half years. Give him a round of applause. 44 and a half, sorry. I told myself, why didn't I get up to half? Yeah, should have gave him 45 years. That's almost as old as I am, Judge. You know that.
Yeah, I've watched you grow up.
I know. And out, Judge, and out. So it's a pleasure. Judge Lewis has been a champion of the city of El Reno, a champion of the people. And I know Tamara doing with Human Resources, it's important for us to recognize these people for 25 years. But for someone to be here and make the decisions that you have to look these people in the eye, go to the grocery store just like I do and have to deal with everybody. We really appreciate the integrity you brought to us, the class you brought to us, and you have absolutely been an outstanding representative to this community and to this city. So, Judge, we cannot thank you enough for everything you've done. And
It's been my pleasure.
well, we've enjoyed you, so let's give one more round. And then there's a new car at Rick Jones, Judge. And just tell him Jeremy sent you. I think it's fully loaded. I don't know anything about it. Just go out there tomorrow and pick it up. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Judge. I think we have someone. Is anybody here for the vote tech? Is a Mr. Don Wilson here. The vote tech? Okay. I want to make a proclamation. And Ms. Luke sent this to me, and we want to thank our partners at Canadian Valley Technical Center for all they do for us, Lindsay, and they do a lot for us. We really appreciate them. She wanted to recognize, whereas the City of El Reno recognizes Canadian Valley Technical Center students and Mr. Don Wilson have been selected to win a MIT Interim Team Grant, and whereas the grant includes staff support from MIT program, school, and of engineering, and each student involved will gain hands-on experience and knowledge of the iterative process. Each student will be involved to gain hands-on experience and knowledge of the innovative process. And the Iterative Team Grant is a prestigious award with rigorous application process. This award is based on the ability to high schoolers supervised by their teacher to solve a problem in their own community through the intervention and this team will work together in the invention project throughout the school year and bring their final prototype to MIT's program, Eureka Fest at Massachusetts Institute of Technology, to showcase what they have learned and what they have been working on here at the Canadian Valley Technical Center. And whereas therefore by far I have the powers vested in me as Matt White, the mayor of El Reno, we do proclaim all the citizens congratulations to the Canadian Valley Technical Centers and their team, and encourage all of our citizens to be supportive of this team and the individuals that they've supported. So let's give them a round of applause. Okay, we'll go on to new business. Deletion, fix the time. Are there any? Not, we'll go on to the consent agenda. Consent agenda. Number one, approval of minutes of the January 8th, 2019 regular meeting of the El Reno City Council. Number two, approval of minutes of the January 17th, 2019 special meeting of the El Reno City Council. Number three, approval of interlocal agreement with the Oklahoma State Bureau of Narcotics, Dangerous Drugs Control for COPS Anti-Heroin Task Force Program. Number four, approval of purchase of 2 sets of battery-operated excavation tools from Okie, I'm not gonna say that right, the Jaws of Life, is that bad?
Yes, there you go.
And rescue systems for $16,809 each, which brings a total of $33,780 total. And number five, approval of purchase of body-worn video cameras for police, animal control, and marshal officers, in addition to computer hardware services necessary to store and complete all the functions of collected data. And number six, acknowledge accept donation by Tara Owen to the City of El Reno Animal Shelter, an amount of $200. Acknowledge accept donation made by Betty Kennedy to the City of El Reno Carnegie Library, an amount of $250. To acknowledge accept donations in support of the Carolyn Barker Memorial Fund in the amount of $800. And number nine, approval resolution 19-028, resolution authorizing persons to transact financial business signatures for the City of El Reno. And number 10, approval budget amendments for the fiscal year 2018-19 ending June 30th, 2019. And number 11, approval of claims requiring council authorization for the period beginning January 1st, 2019 and ending January 31st, 2019. Anybody want to pull any items? I'd like to pull 5. Pull item number 5. Anybody else?
Not after you explained what all that was, God's life.
Yeah.
Didn't even know what 4 was.
All right. So do I have a motion to approval of 1 through 4 and 6 through 11?
Motion approved.
I have a motion by Robinson, second by Baldwin, or Ryder, either way, whoever Lindsay wants to record it. We'll start with Ryder. How's that?
Yes.
Councilman Robinson?
Yes.
Councilman Ballhorn?
Yep.
Vice Mayor Cronister? Mayor White?
Yes. Motion carries. Moving on to 5, approval of purchase of body-worn cameras for police, animal control, marshals, and officers, in addition to computer hardware, software necessary to store collected data. I am very excited. I know the police department's excited too. You know, we haven't had an opportunity. Most all the departments around us have body cams, and we haven't been able to provide that for our officers, and and for our citizens. So I am very excited. I think it's going to be very good to help protect our officers. And we got a grant for $10,000. Is that right, Jeremy? From the OMAG to help support this, which is just great because most every force around us, including Union City, have these body cams, and we just haven't been able to provide that. And I just don't feel comfortable with these guys being out on the street without the protection of these body cams. And I don't think it's fair that this, that I know the cost is a lot, but for us not to be able to provide that service, and we haven't in the past, is just really ill will for us. We owe it to these guys, to those men and women that work over there, to the department, and to our people, our marshals, everything else, to provide this service to protect them, that I know that the protection that they will value and they need. So I feel real strong about this. I hope you do too. I know the citizens will absolutely back this play, and I just can't imagine the officers not wanting this, because I know they'll want this to take them to the next level too. So I really appreciate this. I want to outstand and make sure this is a good thing for the community, and I'm so excited to be a part, to accept the grant, and be able to provide these body cams for the safety of our officers. I hope you all feel the same way. I make a motion we approve.
Second.
I got a motion and a second. Roll call vote start with Ryder.
Councilman Robinson? Councilman Ballhorn?
Yep.
Vice Mayor Cronister, Mayor White.
Absolutely. We'll move on to audience participation. Anyone having an item of business to present to the City Council that does not appear on the agenda, please come to the podium at this time. State your name. You're requested to limit your presentation to 3 minutes. Any item being presented must pertain to the City of El Reno business. Anyone? I sure was wrong. I thought the pop people were going to be up here tonight. All right. Count on it. You're laughing. I was gunning for them. All right. All right. Anybody have any business? Anyone? All right, we'll move on. Move on to 12. To conduct public hearing, consideration declaring 419 North Bickford, aka El Reno Township, lots 1 through 2, block 52, in violation of section 275, 134 of the Code of the City of El Reno, declaring a public nuisance of such nature and constitute grave immediate danger to the public peace, health, safety, morals, and welfare. Direct the city staff to demolish the structure and clear property as quickly as possible. Directing the city clerk to pursue recovery costs of such work if being done by the city. Directing the city treasurer to place such revenues collected in a specific fund for which revenues will be originally appropriated, and further directing the filing of a notice in the county clerk's office. Mr. Broyles, you have the pictures here. This property, you have had several citations on this. You have a whole file of it.
Yes, sir.
You bring this to our attention. You guys are working pretty rapidly throughout the neighborhood. I know you guys are starting your spring season like you normally do. You guys are working the neighborhoods like you're starting kind of your main season now. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So we want to go ahead and get these on the books, and we'll have these coming to you all quite regularly over the next couple of months to get this program going here that we usually do this time of the year to get ready for springtime. And so, Paul, this building is, you can see the pictures. It speaks for itself. We've had several complaints. It's been there for several years, so we're directing to do it. Any questions? Any comments? Is there anybody here with the property at 419? Anybody here for the property at 419? Anybody here at the property at 419? All right. Anybody here any other questions on the property located at 419 North Market? I'm sorry, Bickford. Put my glasses on later. All right. I now consider this public hearing closed. B, discuss consideration possible action to declare 419 South North Bickford, aka El Reno Original Township, Lot 1, 2, Block 52, in violation of Section 275, 134 of the ordinance of the Code of the City of El Reno, declaring a public nuisance of such nature to constitute great immediate danger to public health, safety, morals, welfare. Direct the city staff to demolish structure and clear the property as quickly as possible. Directing the city clerk to pursue recovery costs of such work being done by the city. Directing the city treasurer to replace such revenues collected by a specific fund for which said revenues are originally appropriated, and further directing the filing of a notice in the county clerk's office. I make a motion we do that.
Second.
I got a second by Ryder. Roll call vote start with Ryder.
Yes.
Councilman Robinson.
Yes.
Councilman Ballhorn. Vice Mayor Cronister, Mayor White.
Yes. Move on to 13, conduct public hearings. Considering 920 Industrial Boulevard, approximately aka Fair Editions lots, Fair lots, 29, 30, block 23, 2-point lots in violation of section 275, 134 of the Code of the City of El Reno, declaring a public nuisance of such nature constitute grave immediate danger to the public peace, health, safety, morals, and welfare. Directing the city staff to demolish structure and clear property as quickly as possible, and directing the city clerk to pursue recovery costs for such work be done by the City of El Reno. Directing the city treasurer to place such liens revenues collected on a specific fund for which said revenues are originally appropriated, and further directing the filing of notice in the county clerk's office. I now consider this public hearing open. All right, you see this property right here. It's located on Industrial Boulevard. Paul, I have one thing that was brought up, or someone here, you all are here, okay, and I talked to Sarah today. We've had this on the list. We've talked to Sarah. We're getting everything all done. The only thing that I think Mr. Frazier and I have a problem with is there is a confusion with the driveway. Timmy, when they
I went by today and saw it.
okay, when they did the curb and gutters down there was a driveway there at one time. They had pictures, and now there's not driveway, so they want that poured back. They want to tear the structure down. We don't want to do it. So what I'd like to do is Sarah agreed to coming in next week, and she's being by next week to sign a consent order, tear that down, and get this thing properly cleaned up and done, and that way, we're not out anything, and you're not
We already
anything.
got approved for the permit by you guys today, it went through.
After we called, we got,
Yeah,
we
so
did,
then,
yeah.
she said for me to go ahead tomorrow and go to OEMA or something and get the dumpster, and then we have someone else that's gonna come in and tear it down.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
So what I wanna do is, doing this, I want to, Mr. Frazier and I have to go down and he needs to determine, Mr. Frazier has the power to determine whether we need to put a curb cut there or not, and what we need to do to make it right with everybody, because if that's not right, then we need to make that
Because
right.
we plan on building there.
Well, and we need to determine that. Now, doing the curb cut, we're not, the driveway and everything else is on right away. We're not replacing any of that back or anything else. Like I explained to her, if we decide to do something, Jeff, you might listen to this. We'll just cut the curb off, then we'll do a flat curb back, a 3-foot curb line's all we're gonna do.
Because we've been using the neighbor's driveway and they're flipping us off.
That's what we heard. We
Yeah.
heard it. So,
Yeah, I think Aunt Sarah emailed every one of y'all today, so.
yeah, and I talked to Sarah, so we wanna work with you, and I think all of ours will do too, but the main thing is, we gotta get that consent order signed this week. I'm gonna make sure she signs this week.
Okay.
And I'd like to make a motion that we table this. I'm gonna go ahead and conduct a public hearing, and then we'll table that, then we can take the action at the next meeting and not conduct another public hearing. Does that make sense? Okay. Any other comments? Mr. Broyles, you understand what we're doing here? Okay. Brandon? Anyway, all right, here we go. Any other questions? All right, any other comments on this property? I now consider this public hearing closed. Now we'll move on to discussion, consideration, possible action on B, to declare 920 Industrial Boulevard a nuisance. I make a motion, we table.
Second.
I have a motion. I made the motion, and I second by Robinson. Roll call, start with Ballhorn.
Yep.
Councilman Robinson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Ryder?
Yes.
Mayor White?
Yes. All right, 14, to conduct public hearing, consider the request of Carol Gatlin to reclassify the zoning district to combine residential R2 suburban agriculture to A2, a tract of approximately 5.25 acres located on the corner of South Shepherd Avenue and East Watts within the southeast corner, Section 9, Township 12, North Range 7, Western Meridian, Indian Meridian, Canadian County, Oklahoma. I now consider public hearing open. Dustin, basically this went to the planning commission, is that correct?
That's correct.
This is a rezone. This came before and was denied by the planning commission, denied by us. Is that right? Or approved by the planning commission, denied by us.
The previous action was simply a conditional use permit in the R2 zoning district. It was recommended for approval by planning commission by a vote of 4-2. Recommended or was denied by city council. This is a rezoning from R2 to A2.
Okay.
This does not have anything to do with the next item.
Did this go before the planning commission? last
This
time?
went before planning commission. Their recommendation was to approve it 3-2.
Okay.
There is basically in that area, everything that's east of Shepherd is zoned A2. Everything that's west of Shepherd is zoned R2.
Okay. All right, Carol, you're up here. You want to do this same thing you want to do, except you want to categorize it on the A side now.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anybody against it? Okay. Any other questions? All right, now consider this public hearing closed. B, discussion, consideration, possible action, ordinance number 9178, an ordinance for the request of Carol Gatlin to reclassify zoning district, combine residential R2 to suburban agriculture A2, the tract of land approximately 5.2 acres located on the southeast corner of Shepherd and East Watts within the southeast corner, southeast section 9, Township 12, North Range 7, West Indian Meridian, Oklahoma. Do I have a motion for approval or denial?
Move to deny?
A motion for deny. Do I have a second?
Second.
I got a second. I got a motion and a second. Roll call vote start with Ryder.
Yes.
Councilman Robinson?
Yes.
Councilman Ballhorn?
Abstain.
Vice Mayor Cronister? Mayor White?
Abstain. Motion fails. We'll move on to 15, to conduct a public hearing and consideration request by Kara Gatlin and Gary Hill to grant a conditional use permit, placement of manufactured home within suburban A2 zoning district, subject location, tract land approximately 5.25 acres, located on the corner of East Watts Street and South Shepherd Avenue, more particularly described, portion of Southwest 4th, Section 9, Township 12, North Range 7, West End Marine, County, Oklahoma. Now considers public hearing open. Guess it really doesn't matter because the zoning is in it, is that right?
That's correct.
But we'll go ahead and make a any other discussion? All right, is there a motion for approval or denial?
Close the public hearing.
Oh, I'm sorry. Make a motion, we close public hearing. Go on to B, discussion consideration possible action request by Carol Gatlin and Gary Hill to grant conditional use permit for placement of manufactured home in suburban A2 zoning district. Subject location, tract land approximately 5.25 acres, located on the corner of East Watts and South Shepherd Avenue, more particularly described, portion of Southwest 4th, Section 9, Township 12, North Range 7, West of Indian Meridian, Oklahoma. Motion for approval or denial?
Motion for denial.
I got a motion for denial. Do I have a second?
Second.
I got a motion and a second. Roll call vote start with Ryder.
Yes.
Councilman Robinson?
Yes.
Councilman Ballhorn?
Sustained.
Vice Mayor Cronister? Mayor White?
Abstain. Motion fails. We'll go on to 16. You've got a public hearing requested by Graves Properties LLC to reclassify zoning district from from rural agriculture A1 and residential RE estates to residential estates RE. The tract approximately 10 acres located on East Elm Street within the southwest quarter, Section 4, Section 10, Township 12, North Range 7, West Indian Meridian, County, Oklahoma. Greg?
You'll
Give
be
me-
public hearing.
yeah, hang on, Greg. Open public hearing. Now, Greg, get up here. Mr. Graves. You all represent Graves Properties?
We do.
And basically, this is something that you want to kind of clean up, and you all want to build a house here, is that correct?
Right. We own the 10 acres now. There's one house on the 10 acres, so we'd like to rezone it so that we can build on the 9 acres that's
Gotcha.
left.
Okay. Thank you, Greg.
Yes.
Any questions? Any comments? Dustin, this is with the Planning Commission?
Absolutely.
No problems?
Unanimous.
Okay. I now consider this public, any other questions? Now consider this public hearing closed. We'll move on. Discussion consideration possible action. Ordinance number 9179, an ordinance by request of Graves Properties LLC to reclassify the zoning district from rural agriculture A1 residential estates RE to residential estates RE. Tract approximately 10 acres located on East Elm Street within southwest quarter, Southwest 4, Section 10, Township 12, North Range 7, West Indian Meridian, County, Oklahoma.
Motion to approve.
I got a motion?
Second.
Second, roll call vote, start Ballhorn.
Councilman Robinson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Ryder?
Yes.
Mayor White?
Yes, motion carries. On to 17, got the public hearing, good luck building that house, Greg. You better, hey, you better pay attention to her, how she's gonna, you better let her design that.
She's got the details.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Conduct public hearing consideration request by Robert O. and Brenda K. Robert O. Brenda K. Perkins to reclassify the zoning district from rural agriculture A1 residential RE estates, tract approximately 1 acre located on West Memorial Road within the northwest corner, northeast 4, Section 14, Township 13, North Range 8, West Indian Meridian, in County, Oklahoma. Now consider public hearing open. Bob, you and Brenda bought that house. You guys have been living out there for a long time. You just kind of want to get away from that estate area. There's been some changes in that. And
Well, she's willing to sell us the 1 acre.
the 1 acre, that's what I'm saying, you want to kind of break apart. And y'all been there forever.
Yeah.
There's no problems. Okay. Dustin, this go before Planning Commission.
It did.
Was there any problems at all?
Passed unanimously.
All right. Anybody else here for discussion of Bobby O. and Brenda K's property? No, like say it. All right, any other discussion?
It's actually a deed.
That's why I do that. I mean, I'll tell you, I never do that. I've done you all my life, so anyway. It says Bobby O, so.
I'll take it.
It was brought up the last time
All
too.
right, all right. Okay, I now consider the public hearing closed. We're going to D, discussion consideration possible action, ordinance number 9180, an ordinance request from Bobby O. Robert O. and Brenda K. Perkins reclassified as zoning district from rural agriculture A1 to residential estates RE on tract approximately 1 acre located westward Memorial Road within the northeast quarter, northeast 4th, section 14, township 13, north range 8, west of Indian Meridian, Canadian County, Oklahoma. I make a motion we approve.
Second.
I got a second. Roll call vote, start with Ballhorn.
Yep.
Councilman Robinson.
Yes.
Councilwoman Ryder.
Yes.
Mayor White.
Yes. 18, to conduct public hearing consideration request by Neighborhood Housing Services, Oklahoma, to establish a planned unit development PUD on a tract of current zoning classification of multifamily residential R3, approximately 1 acre, located on the east side of South Shepherd, north of the Highway 66, with the southwest quarter, southwest section 22, township 12, north range 7, west of the Indian Meridian, Canadian County, Oklahoma. I now consider this public hearing open. Bill, this is your little project, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Dustin, this went before the planning commission. This is a rezone, and we're going to, basically, from the R3 multifamily residential to the PUD. We're gonna PUD the whole thing, single family, is that correct?
That's correct.
The only questions, I think I remember reading in the minutes, where the only concerns were, they didn't want, low-income rental properties in that area. But I think the deal is, these are owns, they're not rentals, is that right?
These will be resale, yeah, we will construct them and resale them.
Okay, so there's not gonna be any of that going on.
That's correct. Only other thing that they mentioned at planning commission was the issue with potentially having 4 driveways on Shepherd.
They did discuss the driveways, I saw that.
They did discuss the driveways.
How many driveways did they suggest? Did they
His
accept?
proposal says 2 driveways. The city's ordinance currently requires that driveways be 100 feet apart. So he's gonna be 1, maybe 2 tops.
Okay, but that'll be in the PUD, so that'll cover that, correct?
The PUD does not specifically, my apology. The PUD does not specifically define the maximum number of driveways. However, our city code already, based on the functional classification of Shepherd,
Okay.
already has that handled.
Okay, so it's been answered.
Yes, it is a.
And what was the planning commission's vote?
Planning commission recommended approval.
What was it?
The vote was 5-0, wasn't it?
Okay, 5-0, all right. Any other questions? Anybody here with any questions on the property? All right, we'll move on. I can now consider public hearing closed. We'll move on to B, discussion, consideration, possible action on ordinance number 9181, an ordinance request by Neighborhood Housing Services, Oklahoma, to establish a PUD on a tract currently zoned classification of multifamily residential R3, approximately 1 acre, located on the east side, south of Shepherd, north of Highway 66, within the southwest quarter, southwest 4, section 22, township 12, north range 7, west of the Indian Meridian, good night, Canadian County, Oklahoma. Motion for approval? I got a motion from Tracy, a nod. Do I have a second?
Yes.
There you go, all right. Gotta have something for the public record, guys. Got a second by Robinson, roll call start with Friday.
Yes.
Councilman Robinson.
Yes.
Councilman Ballhorn. Vice Mayor Cronister. Mayor White.
Yep. Going 19, got public hearing consideration by Frank McClellan to establish plan unit, PUD, on tract of land approximately 2.74 acres located in East Kavanaugh and East Ash Streets within Southeast 4. Section 9, Township 12, North Range 7, west of the Meridian, Canadian County, Oklahoma. Now consider this public hearing open. Okay, is Mr. Frank McClellan here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Frank, did I say your last name right?
Yes, sir.
McClellan? Okay. Mr. McClellan, you went to the planning commission, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you're wanting to put some duplexes in this area, is that correct?
That's correct.
And Dustin, they had some questions on this, right?
Yes, sir.
And basically, the zoning, because of the current townhouses on the other side, they felt like it was okay. What was the vote on it?
Vote on that, I apologize, it was, I believe it was 4-0.
Okay, I read it. I just want to make sure I wasn't on the same track.
I wanted,
Okay.
I don't have my notes in front of me, I apologize.
That's okay.
The discussions in that public hearing, were largely about why they're asking for a PUD, and the The biggest deal is the
Biggest
lots
deal-
that they're,
hold on. The biggest deal being the biggest concern?
no, the biggest deal is the biggest reason for the PUD.
Okay.
The reasoning behind the PUD, if you were to build by our code, it would require 10,000 square feet for each duplex lot with 80 feet of frontage. The way that it's laid out, the lots are 9,950 square feet apiece and 75.33 feet in width. As part of the consideration for the PUD, Mr. McClendon in the design statement made some concessions as to landscaping and most specifically the veneer of the structure. He promised, I believe, 85% brick veneer on those structures. That's written in the design statement.
Well, the 85% veneer, that would cover the door, the garage, I mean, you have enough, okay. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be brick.
Everything but the back porch.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Yeah, basically a completely brick home. The largest concerns brought forth were about the staging of the homes. Generally speaking, there is when you have in any zoning district, you've got, say, in this case, it'll be a 25-foot building setback. And the question was whether they'll all be lined up right down there.
What was the answer?
The answer to that was fairly non-committal, which that's okay. We're not talking about, at some level, we're not talking about what they're going to do, it's what they're going to be allowed to do. So that's
What are gonna be allowed to do?
they would be allowed to build at that front building line on any of them,
That's right, based on the code.
based on the code.
So that wouldn't really have, I got you, but I understand their concerns.
That
They don't
was
want to
the
hodgepodge
largest
it, but that would correct it to a certain degree.
Mhm.
Okay, all right. Anything else you want to add, Mr. Flynn?
No, sir.
Okay, anybody here, any concerns? Bill, come on up. Bill, state your name and your address.
My name's Bill Hosey. I live on the southeast corner of the property that we're talking about, southeast corner.
Address. This is
1000 South Shepherd, but the whole north side of my property's on Ash.
Got you. But we
Okay.
asked for the address.
Okay, I don't see Dale Crump or Mark Brewster here, but between the three of us, we own property all down the south side of this proposed project. And we know that we're not gonna keep things the way they are. It's not gonna be a horse pasture, and the building it's on, it's falling down anyway. So we understand that something's gonna happen. What we'd really like to see would be 3 or 4 nice new big homes, which we know that's not gonna happen either probably. So my concern is that allowing the city ordinance to be sidestepped and reduce the size of the lots is effectively going to change the project from 20 new families in the neighborhood to 24, because he's building 12 instead of 10 buildings, and each of those has two homes in it. So traffic, public safety, they're rentals, so there's 4 extra rental units there, and I understand why. It's a lot more profitable to do that and pack them in close. We'd sure like to see the city council consider enforcing the rules as they stand.
And let me make sure that we're clear on this, Bill, so I want to make sure, when you say we're really skirting around, we're really not skirting around, he can allow this in the PUD, is that correct?
Well, as the zoning sits, if it was to be developed strictly to the R2 zoning district, he would only be allowed to build 10 structures, which is 20 units, as he's saying. There's a difference in 2 buildings, 4 units. That said, with the with going by the straight R2 zoning district, you do not get that, you don't get the extra landscaping that he's talking about, and you certainly don't get a promise on that 85% veneer. That's not in our city code.
So they don't have
So
to do that.
they don't have to do that.
And that's what we really want. I don't
If
want,
they
you don't want
were-
10, you don't want 10 properties over there without that, you don't want 10 properties over there not with the veneer.
Yeah, they
You
could be,
you want 10 properties, whether it be 10 or 12 with brick, I would think.
and that's for the,
Well, let me ask you one more question. The only concern I have with this is the, there's a, I know that area pretty well. You do too, Timmy. You know, there's some areas that are flooding area and some things like that in there, you know. On the drainage itself, with those units now, whether it be 10 or 12, well, I keep on saying 10 or 12, I'll be 10 or 12. With 10 or 12 units, you know, I want to make sure that the drainage will be addressed for that, because that's going to be a lot of permeable surface that's going to be added to that area that's been permeable. Now, saying that, that would be addressed in the permitting, or the permitting side, or the plan review, is that correct?
that'll be addressed in plan review, and that'll be addressed in the plating process.
Now, will he have enough room in that area to build a retention area with 12 structures?
I don't know if he would, you know, and there's multiple ways to handle detention, retention, drainage mitigation, stormwater mitigation. That's what we're really talking about. And as long as he's able to make the cumulative effect zero.
I understand
Going
that.
down.
And then that'll be through the plan review process.
That would be something.
But you didn't answer any of my questions. Here's my question. If he puts 12 structures up there, is he gonna have enough room for the detention pond that I think he ought to have? And I say, I think, I'm not an engineer, close, but I'm not an engineer, in order to have that. Does that make sense? That's my main concern is this, Bill, I'll be honest with you. I think 2 more units versus a 10, I don't see that. I mean, I hear you, I understand that.
Yeah.
I understand that. I'm just saying, you know, in building wise, he might need that in order to make it work for that price, that project. I don't know that. I'm taking up for both sides of this.
Right.
I'm trying to figure out my mind, is what I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to come up with an agreement we can do it. I absolutely don't want 10 structures there that we're gonna allow with siding on there. I do not want that. I think that's just that's something that I'm not willing, I mean, we're going back to what we don't want. And I don't think you want that.
No, we don't want it either, and.
And I think it goes back to the point, we gotta figure out how we can make this work to where we can make you, I think you need to be required to do that. But I think the main key to that deal is, I am concerned, I will be honest with you, I'm very concerned with the water, because you put 10 or 12 structures on there, I've been in that area, it slopes down to that deal. Those creeks, we don't own those creeks, we get yelled at and say we own those creeks on both sides where Jerry bought and everything, we don't own those, we don't have any, we looked all that up, we don't own any of that. And that's all just right away, the water, that's a water tributary, that's right, and everything, city didn't own that. We don't have any right of way on there or anything.
We have no curbs, no gutters.
I don't disagree.
You know that.
I do, that's why I'm with you, I mean, I'm trying to help, I'm trying to make this up in my mind.
Well,
Because it all slopes back down that way to Crump's property down there below,
Right.
and to Miss Ellie's place.
well, I'm not an engineer either, but I have measured that piece of property, and when you put 6 of these large units that we talked about the other night at the planning commission meeting in there, there's not a lot of room for detention ponds.
Well, here's my caveat to you, Bill, and I'm with you. Let me ask you this. I'm trying to make this thing make sense to me. I want to require you to put brick on there. I think veneer would not help that neighborhood at all. I just don't think that's good.
No,
I don't think you want that, Bill.
no, we don't.
Because the rentals, like you said, he's going to take care of it. We're going to make sure he does, but you just don't want that. It's just more maintenance, especially with someone renting the property. If we allowed you to have 12, I guess I'd like to see that plan of retention to help improve that area. And I think that's the key to this thing, is that if everybody can get something out of this in order to improve the neighborhood, and that's what ultimately is. I know where Bill's coming from. He doesn't really want to tell you what to do with that property, but it's nice not having something next to that property. But there is going to be increased traffic there. Now, I'm saying that, Bill, one block over from you, you got those duplexes, those Ixes, and there's multifamily right behind you. I mean, it's kind of I'm just being fair. One more block down, you got the HUD housing on the corner. So, I mean, it's working in that neighborhood, and they're funneling out on Shepherd, but I think the key to this deal is getting the drainage and the bricks. It cannot be siding. I mean, I'm not for that. And I think that's where we're at, Bill. I guess what we're trying to say is, if we can get a caveat to come back and we allow the 12 structures that you want with a plan of the retention and an impact plan of what it's going to do to that neighborhood. Does that make sense? Yes. Then I would be for something like that if it's 85% bricked and we have a clear plan of retention on that property and even improvement.
One more.
Does that make,
Yeah.
Because here's the thing is, Bill, if I tell him 10, he don't have to do the brick.
Yeah, I understand.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't think you want that in the neighborhood.
No, we don't. One more question.
Yep.
They're rentals. Is there gonna be anybody there on site that's managing those properties, or is it gonna be an absentee owner?
There'll be a management company.
That is located on site?
Those properties.
Where are they located?
I believe they're out up in the city right now.
Okay, so there won't be anybody there.
I'm not sure if they have branching all in.
No, what he's asking you is, is there gonna be a resident on site that's responsible for the other 11 people, the other 11, or I'm sorry, 24, hell, you got me mixed up with numbers. Is there gonna be one guy in charge there that's gonna do that deal, or are all those units for rental, and then you have a company out of Oklahoma City come in and take care of that company? Is that what you're asking?
That is the plan.
Okay.
There's a management company that manages those.
Is it low-income housing?
No, it's not.
Is it
There's no-
Section 8 approved?
No, sir.
It won't be Section 8 approved.
Well, and now, hey, guys, we gotta be
I'm just
careful.
telling
No, I know, but we gotta be careful with some of these questions, because that's not part of the, be careful.
I'm careful, but I'm a private citizen.
I know you are, I know.
I didn't used to be.
But they got your address now, at 100 on No, I'm just saying, let me help you with that, what I'm trying to say. There's no government incentives on this and tax credits, is that correct?
There is none.
And there is no HUD reformation to where there is any reimbursement from the government in any way, shape, or form? Okay, that covers what you wanted to get at?
Yeah.
And that's what I think the question is. Yeah. Bill, does that kind of satisfy you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Y'all wait and see what the plans look like.
Well, I think you go back to the point where if we approve it, I'm trying to think how I make the motion on this. We approve the 12 units with the 85% coverage with staff's recommendation, final approval of the detention study. Does that make sense? That's a win-win situation. Dustin, if you screw this up for me, what do you want? Hang on.
Just a slight reminder, they will be required to plat. The plat will be required to go through planning commission and city council.
Once again, I'm putting in this motion to cover that, so when it goes to them, they know the problem. Does that make sense? Because there's a water problem there.
There really is.
And there will be if there's 10 permeable services on top there. But 10? Yes, sir, Mr. Larson.
That's all I said was, when during the preliminary planning stage, that'll be addressed along with.
Totally agree. This just gives us a little more validity and gives me a pride point to say, if you don't do it, you're a dirty fat liar, and I want your address at that point. Okay, so I make a motion that I'm still voting here, Roger, you got me all messed up. All right. Any other questions? Any other complaints? Any other politically correct, incorrect statements anybody wants to make? All right. I now consider the public hearing closed. We'll go on to B, discussion, consideration, possible action on ordinance number 9182, an ordinance for a request by Frank McMillan establishing Lake Development PUD on tract approximately 2.74 acres located between East Kavanaugh and East Ash Streets within Southeast 4, Section 9, Township 12, North Range 7, West Emory, Canadian County, Oklahoma. I make a motion we approve up to 12 units, 24 total, 12 sold buildings, with the condition that 85% coverage on each unit is covered with brick. And then also with a approval of a comprehensive drainage plan for that area and or not excluded to improvement of that area.
Second.
I got a motion and a second by Robinson. Roll call start with Ryder.
Yes.
Councilman Ballhorn.
Yeah.
Councilman Robinson.
Yes.
Mayor White.
No, yes. Thank you all. All right, we'll go on to, where am I at, Roger? 20, discussion, consideration, possible action, ordinance 91, ordinance residential zoning districts regarding mobile manufactured modular homes and declaring emergency. All right, Dustin, you gave this to me. I read it. I don't like it.
Okay?
And I tell you why I don't like it. And Jerry's out here, and I'm gonna go talk to Jerry in a week or so, but here's my problem with this deal. We get confused what's a mobile home and what's a modular home. And I pointed out to Jeremy and Matt Sandage that I want to physically know, I want to know what a definition of a mobile and a modular is, and I want that understanding, because I pointed out, because I've been around this, I'm an old dog around here, I pointed out there's been a couple of units that have been modular homes, and by God, they're double wide trailers. And then I pointed out a couple of modular homes, like Mr. Ramirez, his property burnt down. That's absolutely Nick Ramirez's house, back behind Lord's Harvest, is absolutely a modular home. Do you agree, Jimmy?
Yep.
So I want to table this, and I want Mr. Frazier, and Mr. Frazier was very receptive, and after we showed those pictures, him and Matt both were talked about it, and let's dig into this a little bit more. I know that we want to do it, and I appreciate you bringing this to, because I know we're in the weeds on this deal. We got to get some clarity. Sure. But let's table this and figure out. Jim, I'm gonna get with you. I want to do a little talking. I want to kind of see what the difference is. I know there's a nameplate, but there's still some differences. I want to get into that a little bit, because the one out there that we saw, it was bricked around the outside, but it has tires underneath it. That's a mobile home. So I think we got to be real cautious about this. So I want to table that. Let's do some work on it and bring some clarification back and see where we're at. That makes sense? Make a motion on the table.
Second.
I got a motion, table, second by Ballhorn. Roll call start with Ryder.
Yes.
Councilman Robinson.
Yes.
Councilman Ballhorn.
Yep.
Vice Mayor Cronster. Mayor White.
Yep. All right, you guys help me out with this. 21, discussion, consideration, possible action, approval to pay off the 2008 taxable series loan of $465,200,000, including interest and fees, not to exceed complete total of $485,000, and authorize Chairman White and Mayor to sign a letter of payoff approval.
Motion per authority.
I got motion per authority, second by Ryder. Roll call start with Ryder.
Yes.
Councilman Robinson.
Yes.
Councilman Ballhorn.
Yeah.
Mayor White.
Yes, motion carries. 22, discussion, consideration, possible action to award bid for project number J30, downtown Tower Water Line. Approve the mayor to sign all documents associated there too.
Motion per authority.
Motion per authority. Second by Ballhorn. Roll call start with Ballhorn.
Councilman Robinson.
Yes.
Councilman Ryder.
Yes.
Mayor White.
Yes. 23, discussion, consideration, possible action to award bid for project number J31, Bridge Remediation, South Country Club Road. Approve mayor, sign all documents associated there too.
Motion per authority.
Motion per authority. Second by Ryder. Roll call start with Ryder.
Yes.
Councilman Robinson.
Yes.
Councilman Ballhorn.
Yep.
Mayor White.
Yes. 24, discussion, consideration, possible action to accept project number I-44, recorded duplicate J10, housekeeping, sanitary sewer force main to serve Crossroads Point Development, made final payment to Miller Incorporated, doing business as J&C Construction, amount of $881.16, and activated maintenance bond.
Motion per authority.
Motion for authority.
Second.
Second by Ballhorn. Roll call start Ballhorn.
Yep.
Councilman Robinson.
Yes.
Councilman Ryder. Mayor White.
Yes. Motion carries. 25, discussion, consideration, possible action to approve plan for street resurfacing and reconstruction.
Make a motion to approve per authority.
We're excited about that.
Make a motion for authority. Timmy's excited about it, and he seconds it. Roll call start with Ryder.
Yes.
Councilman Robinson.
Yes.
Councilman Ballhorn.
Yep.
Mayor White.
Yes. 26 we take no action on. And 27 we take no action on. 28, this is discussion consideration possible action award proposal for the purchase of one 2019 rescue pumper for the fire department. Well, this is a little bit different than Jaws of Life. Don't sit down, Kenny, you need to come up here. There ain't no sense come up here for $451,244.07. Yeah. Get up here, Legali. Kent, basically, we've been planning this for a long time, and this is also another item we want to wait till Mr. Fraser got on board.
Yes.
We've been talking about this for several years. This is in our scheme plan, Jason. I know you're kind of backed up. I want to kind of bounce this off both of you. This is a suffering unit. This is basically to complement the unit we have currently.
Yes, it's the twin sister to the unit that we bought 3 years ago.
Yeah, and we bought that 3 years ago. So what we're asking you to, Kent, when we order this is 1 year out usually, is that right?
10 to 12 month delivery.
And what we'll do is we're asking you to go ahead and do that, but we'll secure the funding for that, and we'll do that we're discussing how we're gonna do that, 3 year payout, whatever else. We've done that before, Kent, you and I, we financed some of that through Rock Island Credit Union, we financed it through, some of that at,
Bank of
First
Commerce.
and Farmers, so.
Yep.
We'll kind of get with Jeremy and kind of go over all that and let Jeremy make a decision, but we'll get all that to him to kind of show him what we've been doing and see if he has any increase he can write it. So, it's in our plan, we need it, it's a crucial part of our, overall plan for our fire department. Any other
That is
questions? I got a motion to approve, to Suffering, to approve $451,244.07, is that right, Bob? Yep. I got a motion, I'll second. Got a second.
Figure out how to pay for it.
We'll figure out how to pay for it. We'll find it for 3 years, like we did the other ones.
Sounds good.
I got a second, roll call start with Ryder.
Yes.
Councilman Robinson?
Yes.
Councilman Ballhorn?
Yep.
Mayor Cronster? Mayor White?
Yes. Road 29, discussion consideration possible action for special event permit, alcohol beverage permit for the Main Street and for sale of beer and wine at Burger Day Festival in downtown El Reno to be Friday, May the 3rd from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. and Saturday, May 4th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And we ought to go ahead and extend it over here to the City Hall at some point in time.
Motion.
I don't think Brown would disagree with that. Okay, Brown, they're not gonna have beer booths this time, are they? Gonna have it open like they did last year?
It's not gonna be a compliant area.
Yeah, and we did that last year, the first year we did that, no problems.
That's correct.
All right. That's no problem we have now is fireworks. All right.
And Gators running through
I got a motion to approve.
Contingent upon
Yeah.
insurance and
Oh, yeah.
licensing from the state, and the pyrotechnics contingent upon fire marshal approval.
Yes.
That's what we meant, Lindsay.
Yeah.
If you wouldn't be so
Right.
pushy, we would do that way, yes. We were trying to get that out, and you rudely interrupted Tracy. Stated correctly. Did you second it, Tracy? I hope so. Bob, it's your turn to vote.
Councilman Robinson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Ryder?
Yes.
Mayor White?
I guess, yes, absolutely. We're excited for Main Street. They're gonna have a great little, they're trying to get a 2-day deal together. It's great. Sounds good. All right, financial report. Marcia?
Our sales tax last month was up to $2 million, which is great, and then this month it's went back down to what our budgeted level is, but we're still holding in there.
We're doing good. Okay. Bob, you got anything? Okay, Timmy?
No.
Tracy?
No,
What? Nothing?
I did it all before.
Wow. Jeremy?
Just that I continue to be excited about the opportunity that I've been granted, and I'm excited that we have the means and the council has the intention to make some drastic improvements within the community. And lastly, for our younger employees who are very energetic and knowledgeable, and our more seasoned employees who are extremely knowledgeable. I thank you for your patience and helping me transition and serve the community. So, thank you.
Poor Jeremy's been drinking information from a fire hose. I think I've said that 2 or 3 times, and I like it. We're glad to have Jeremy. He's done a great job. We're all getting through there. It's still gonna take a little time to level off, but he's absolutely jumped in there feet first. He's done a great job, and we've got so much going on in Reno. Once again, I did a good job of lying to him about telling him that there would be no problems, don't worry about it, it's easy coming here, nothing going on. So, And we tricked him again.
That wasn't true.
Motion, yes, Roger.
I just wanted to give a shout out to the city for the new street signs and signage in downtown El Reno, where my office is located. They look fantastic. It really identifies the district. It's a very positive step forward, so thank you.
We and I think Rex did ours, but we did that deal out there at the country club, and we saw those, and I asked Heather, and then to go over, I said, we ought to get some downtown.
that's
And
wonderful.
we've done a lot of projects downtown this last year, by the parking lots, by the splash pad, and by the others, so I think it shows absolutely good faith. The city has done projects all over the community, and we're starting our project for the playground equipment, Jeremy, that's gonna start being in place next month. We're excited about our jack system that Marcia's been working real hard on, about ready to kill one of the dealers over the deal, but other than that, Jeremy, that's the first time Jeremy saw Marcia mad, it gets worse, it gets much worse. So we're excited about all the progress in El Reno and the staff and everything else. Motion for adjournment? Got a motion by Robinson, second by Ballhorn, all in favor say aye. We're adjourned.